morning students, this is 11th class biology. Today we will start chapter number 5, that is morphology in flowering plants, and this is lecture number 1 of chapter 5. In today's lecture we will discuss about the root, reasons of root, types of root system, modification of roots and functions of roots. So first of all, what is morphology? As the chapter is morphology of flowering plants, so you need to know what is morphology. So morphology is external structure. So here in this chapter we will study about the external structure of angiospermic plants, or you can say flowering plants. Okay, so these are some main parts of the angiospermic plants: root, stem, leaves, flowers and fruits. Okay, these can be divided into root system and shoot system. A root system includes the root and all the root hairs, and the shoot system includes all these parts: stem, leaves, flowers and fruits, right? So let's start with the root, first main part of the angiospermic plants in their morphology. So what is root? It is underground non-green part. Not always, but most of the time roots are underground, and some plants above the ground roots can be present, which can perform some other functions for the plant. I will give you example also later on in this lecture. Okay, so roots are mainly underground non-green part of the plant, right? And roots doesn't have nodes and internodes, right? Nodes and internodes are present on stems. So this is a characteristic feature of the roots. You can say roots doesn't have nodes and internodes. Also roots doesn't have leaves or buds, because leaves and buds are present on stems. Now let's start with the reasons of root, that what are the different reasons present in the parts of the roots, you can say. Okay, so first part of the root is root cap region. See here, this is a complete root. Okay, and this on the tip, this first part of the root is called root cap. Okay, so this region is called root cap region. So we can say the apical part of the root. Okay, root cap region is the apical part of the root, which is so apical part of root is covered by a structure called root cap. Here you can see this apical part is covered by this structure, and this is called root cap. What is the function of this root cap now? It protects the apex of the root, right? It protects the apex of root, and it secretes mucilage which acts as a lubricant. How it protects? Because this root cap secrete a mucilage. A mucilage is a lubricant like substance. Okay, so it acts as lubricant for the root to make its way through the soil. Whenever the root grows through the soil, so this root cap protects the root from the friction, right? That's why we can say the root cap is protecting the apex of root while growing through the soil. So this is the root cap, and this is the function of root cap. Now second part, just about the root cap. See this part, this one. This is called region of meristematic activity. Only this part. Okay, just above, a few millimeters above the root cap is the region of meristematic cells, and this is called region of meristematic cells or region of division, because rapid division is the characteristic feature of the meristematic cells. What are meristematic cells? Which can undergo rapid division. Okay, so this region is called region of meristematic cells or region of cell division. Okay, and where it is present? It is present just above the root cap, a few millimeters above the root cap. The cells in this region are thin-walled. Okay, so this is also a characteristic feature of most of the meristematic cells. Wherever there will be meristematic cells, those cells will be thin-walled. Okay, because rapidly dividing cells are usually thin-walled. Okay, so these cells in the root also, these are also thin-walled with dense protoplasm. So again, this is also a characteristic feature of all the meristematic cells, that because you know, these cells are dividing rapidly. So for the rapid division, they require dense protoplasm. Okay, cytoplasm means all the cytoplasm that is present inside the cell. Sorry. So dense protoplasm is present in the meristematic cell and thin cell wall. So these features are found here also in the meristematic cells of the root. Okay. So these cells divide actively. So these divide at a very fast rate, right? So see here, only this region is the region of meristematic activity, just above the root cap. Now third region. Third region is the region of elongation. Elongation means elongate. Okay, the cells which can elongate will form the region of elongation, right? See here, just above the region of meristematic activity, this region, this complete region from here to here, this is called region of elongation, right? Now here the cells enlarge to make the root grow in length. Okay, so what is the function of cells present in this region of elongation? These cells are helping in increasing the length of root. Okay, how? Because these cells have stopped the division. Okay, just below the it there was region of meristematic activity and cells in that region were dividing actively, right? Now what happens, some of the cells will lose the capacity to divide actively and will start elongating and will help in the elongation of the root, right? And those cells will make the region of elongation. So see here, the cells enlarge to make the root grow in length. It lies next to the meristematic region. As you can see here, this is meristematic region and just above this is region of elongation. Next is, these are newly formed cells which lose the power of division, right? So these are newly formed cells, means the cells of the meristematic region which have lost the capacity of division will form the cells of elongation region, right? Hence they elongate rapidly. So cells present in this region elongate rapidly and that's why increasing the length of root, right? Now fourth region is called region of maturation. So this region here you can see from here to here, okay, just above the elongation region. This is called maturation region of root. Okay, in this region the cells differentiate into various tissues such as root hair to absorb water and nutrients from the soil. As you can see here in this region, these hair-like structures are present. These thread-like structures are present here. So what are these thread-like structures? These are root hairs. So we can say that root hairs are present in region of maturation, right? So you can say in region of maturation these root hairs are present to absorb the water and nutrients from the soil. Okay, so which part of the root is helping in absorption of nutrients and water from the soil? That is root hairs. Okay, these are increasing the surface area. You can see here, because of the presence of these root hairs, surface area of this part of root is larger than this part of root. Okay, so these root hairs are increasing the surface area and these are helping in absorption of minerals and waters from the soil. The zone behind the root hair known as permanent zone. Okay, just you can say that just behind the root hairs, this region. Okay, this is called permanent zone, which produces lateral roots also, right? Because this is primary root and lateral roots can also arise from here, from this primary root. So from where those lateral roots will arise? Those will arise only from this maturation region. Okay, not from here, not from here. Those will arise here from the region of maturation, just below the root hairs. So all these are parts of the root, or you can say regions of the root. Now you need to make this diagram and label all the parts of the root. Okay, now our next topic is types of root system. So roots are mainly divided into three types. So we have three types of root system. First is taproot system, second adventitious root system, and third is fibrous root system. So let's start with taproot system. Here you can see this is the diagram for taproot system. Now what is happening here? Upon germination, as the seed germinate, okay, as the seed germinate, the first root that arises from the radicle. As you know, in the seed there are two parts, plumule and radicle. I hope you know that plumule and radicle are present here in the seed. Okay, so a radical part give rise to the root. Okay, so what happened upon the germination of the seed? The first root that arise from the radicle is the main cylindrical root. Okay, and that is called primary root, as you can see here. Okay, this is arising from the radical part of the seed after the germination, and this cylindrical part is called primary root, right? So this is primary root, primary taproot, you can say. Now this primary root grows vertically downward. Okay, it downward means below the soil it will grow. It grows vertically downward, as you can see here, and then lateral branches arise from here, and these are the first lateral branches which will arise from the primary root will be called secondary roots. You can see here. Okay, this is primary root, and these branches, these lateral branches arising from it are called secondary root, secondary taproot, you can say. Okay, because this is taproot system. So secondary taproot will arise from here, from the primary taproot. Then further lateral branches will arise from these secondary taproot also. Here you can see, okay, these branches, and these are called tertiary roots. Okay, so these lateral branches arise like this. From the primary taproot there will arise the secondary roots, then from secondary roots there will be a rise there the tertiary roots will arise. Okay, so a system will be formed like this of the primary roots, secondary roots and tertiary root. Okay, and this complete system of the primary, secondary and tertiary roots will be called taproot system. And here you can see these rootlets also. Okay, these are rootlets. What are these rootlets? From the tertiary branches, you can see here, from the tertiary branches also some lateral branches are arising, and those are called rootlets. Okay, so rootlets, tertiary, secondary and primary. This complete system is making taproot system, right? And these type of roots, means this taproot system is found in dicots, or you can say in dicotyledons. And these are some examples in which taproot system is found. Gram, pea, groundnut, carrot and radish. All in all these taproot system is found. Now next type of root system is adventitious root system. Now in adventitious root system, root grow from other parts of the plant except for the radicle or its branches. Okay, here the root is arising from some other part. It is not arising from the radicle. And instead of having one primary root from which the branches arises, in the adventitious root there are numerous morphologically similar roots arising from the same node. Okay, so you can say here in the adventitious root system, roots are arising from the nodes, not from the radicle. And where the nodes are present? And the stem. Okay, so from the lowest part of the stem these roots are arising. Okay, from a node these roots are arising, and not a primary root is forming here. Okay, but many morphologically similar roots are arising here. So here you can see these are many roots arising from the same point. Okay, there is not a single root and the lateral branches of that. Okay, like that was in the taproot system. But what is happening here? This is a single point. You can say the lowest part of the stem, any node can be here. Okay, so from a single point many roots are arising. Those are morphologically similar, and such type of root system is called adventitious root system. Now see the examples of adventitious root system. So this is the example. Now, these are the examples. This is banyan tree. Okay, so the hanging roots growing from the branches of banyan tree. Here you can see these hanging structure. What are these hanging structure? These are roots, okay, and these roots are not arising from the radical part. From where these are arising? These are arising from the nodes of stem, okay, from the nodes present on the branches of the tree, right? So these hanging structure are the root. And which type of root these are? These are adventitious roots, okay. So first example we have in banyan tree. Second example is this of fig tree, okay. So these roots of fig tree, these are also adventitious roots. Then roots of rubber plant, you can see here the diagram. This is rubber plant, and these roots are also adventitious roots. Now next root system we have fibrous root system. Here you see this is fibrous root system. I hope you can notice the difference between the taproot system and this fibrous root system, okay. So what is happening here? Fibrous roots do not penetrate deep into the soil, okay. This is the you can say most characteristic most common feature of the fibrous roots, that these are on the upper part of the soil, okay. These do not penetrate deep into the soil. They begin as a single main root like a taproot system, okay. So this is the difference from the adventitious root system. How this fibrous root system is different from the adventitious root system? Here these roots are also beginning with a single main root like taproot system, but later on spread like a mat on the ground with only a few roots deep into the soil. So here in starting a primary root will arise, but later on that will be replaced by many branches, okay. So here you can see these many branches are arising, okay. So in starting a primary root arise from the radical, and then it is replaced by the many branches, many roots, you can say, okay. Many similar type of roots will arise later on, and that those roots will make a mat like structure on the ground, okay, and will spread like this, as you can see here, okay. And these are not deeply penetrated in the soil. Only a few roots of these can be deeply penetrated in the soil. Now these are some examples of the fibrous root system. First is rice, grasses, maize, wheat. In all these, fibrous root system is found. Next topic we have is root modification. So what is root modification? As you know, the primary function of root is to absorb water and minerals from the soil and anchors the plant firmly, okay. This is the main function of the root. We can say root is an underground part, and the main function is to absorb water and minerals from the soil and anchors the plant firmly on its place, right? But in some plants the roots change their shape and get modified to perform some other function, okay, to perform the function other than to absorb the water and mineral and to anchor the plant, and that is called root modification. So root can modify it in different ways to perform some other functions. So first type of root modification is for the storage of food. So in some plants the roots become fleshy due to absorption of food material, okay. When the food is stored inside the root, that root become fleshy. For example, taproots of carrot and turnip get swollen to store the food, and these are some other examples also, okay. Here you can see all these roots are modified roots to store the food, and you can see the difference in shapes of all these. So roots can get modified, roots can take different shapes to store the food. Here you can see this conical shape, and this is carrot, okay. So in carrot, conical shape is taken by root to store the food. Here this is fusiform root of radish to store the food. This is napiform root of the turnip to store the food, and this is tuberous root of sweet potato to store the food. Next type of root modification is for better respiration. Now you know different parts of the plants take care of their respiratory needs, okay. Like leaves have stomata to exchange the gases. Carbon dioxide and oxygen is exchanged through the stomata in leaves, okay. Plant stems have lenticels for the respiration, and roots exchange the gases through the between the pores of the soil. Oxygen is present, okay, and through that plant roots take care of their respiratory needs. But in swampy areas, what will happen? In swampy areas, that those soil pores get filled with water, okay, so no oxygen is available for the roots there, okay. So what happened? For the better respiration, the roots of these plants emerge out of the ground and grow upwards to get oxygen from the air for respiration, right? So we can say, in which type of plants this modification of root is found for the better respiration? It is found in some halophytes. What are these halophytes? These are the plants. Phytes means plants, okay. So halophytes are the plants which grow in swampy areas, because in these swampy areas, pores between the soils get filled with the water. That's why no oxygen is available to the roots, and for the better respiration, these roots emerge out from the ground and grow upward to get the oxygen for respiration, okay. And one example is also given here for halophytes, that is rhizophora, okay. Here you can see this is rhizophora, and here you can see this upward structure, okay. These are roots of rhizophora. These are growing upward like this to capture the oxygen present in the air, okay. And these are called pneumatophores. Here you can see this is mangrove. Mangrove plant means the plants which grow in swampy area. You can call these halophytes or mangrove plants, okay. So these roots are rising upward like this. These are called pneumatophores, okay. So the root tips of these plants have minute pores. And how these roots will capture the oxygen from the air? Because these have minute pores, and these minute pores are called lenticels. As the lenticels are present in stem, these are also having lenticels for the respiration, through which they respire, okay. Here you can see this is upward structure. This is root growing upward, okay, and these are pores present here on this root for the breathing, and this upward root is called pneumatophore. Next type of root modification is nodulated roots. Here you see these structure, these are called nodules, okay, and this root is having these nodules is called nodulated root, okay. This round structure, these are nodules. So roots of leguminous plants like beans, okay, so roots of leguminous plants are modified into root nodules, which contain nitrogen fixing bacteria such as rhizobium, okay. So rhizobium is a nitrogen fixing bacteria. It can fix the atmospheric nitrogen to make it available for the plant, right? So for their nitrogen needs, these plants get modified, okay, and these roots are making the nodules so that rhizobium can live there and can fix the atmospheric nitrogen for them, right? So these are nodulated roots here in the leguminous plants. They help in fixing this rhizobium help in fixing the atmospheric nitrogen into nitrates and make it available to the plant. Now this is a next type of root modification, that is for sport. So for sport, two types of roots are present here, prop roots and stilt roots. What are the prop roots? These roots hang downward, okay. These grow from the nodes of the branches and grow and hang downwards, as you can see here in the banyan tree, okay. These hanging structure, these are roots, okay, and these are called prop roots, and penetrate into the ground, thereby supporting the tree, okay. So these roots can penetrate lower side in the ground, and what is the function of these roots? These are supporting the tree, okay. So this is a type of root modification for supporting the tree, okay. So this is the root modification for sport. And what is the name for these roots? These are prop roots for the sport. Second type of roots for the sport are stilt roots, and these are found in sugar cane. You can see here sugar cane. So these roots grow obliquely from the basal node of the stem. So this is stem of sugarcane, and here you can see from the node part of the sugarcane, these structure arising. You might have seen the sugarcane in reality also. Okay, so from the node part of the sugarcane, the thread-like structure which arise are called stilt roots. So these grow obliquely from the basal node of the stem. Okay, and what is the function of these stilt root? These help in the sport. Okay, so stilt root in sugarcane and prop root in banyan, both are for sport of the plant. Now last topic of this lecture is functions of root, and the first function is anchoring, or you can say anchorage. So it is the main function of the root. Roots are the region of plant where it remain attached to the ground. Okay, from the root part only the plant is attached with the ground. Okay, they support the plant body, ensuring that it stands erect. So you can say roots are helping in the erect position of the whole plant. Okay, second function is absorption. So primary function of roots is to absorb water and the dissolved minerals from the soil. So this is the primary function of roots. It is it absorbs the water and also the minerals which are present in the soil, because minerals are present in the soil, and these minerals are crucial for the photosynthesis, because for the synthesis of food by the plant, water is required and also many minerals are required. Okay, and when the plant will do the photosynthesis, means it is making food for itself. Okay, and that food is helping in the growth and the development of plant, right? So you can say these minerals are very essential for the plant. Water and minerals both are very essential for the plants. Okay, and which part of the plant is doing that function of the absorption of water and mineral? It is performed by roots. Now next function is storage. Plants prepare food and store in the form of starch in the leaves, shoots and roots. Okay, so all these parts of the plant can store the food. It can be stored in the leaves, shoots and roots. Prominent examples include carrot, radish and beetroot, where the roots are storing the food. Okay, so these are examples where the roots are storing the food. So roots are helping in the storage of food also. Next is ecological function. Roots help in checking the soil erosion. Okay, so roots check soil erosion because these roots can bind the soil. Okay, wherever a plant is present, the roots of the plant bind the soil particles, and that's why avoid the soil erosion in that area. Provide sustenance and also habitat to various organisms. Okay, so plants are the habitat for many organisms. So it is helping in ecological, maintaining the ecological system also, right? Now based on today's topics, your homework is NCERT question number 1 and 6th question, B part of 6th question. Only B part you will do now, A and C part you will do later. One more question you need to do is differentiate taproot system and fibrous root system, and also make all the diagrams included in today's lecture. All the diagrams are very important, so make all the diagrams. Thank you.